Yeah. I like it so far. I do miss the wood heel though. I miss the wood, but so I'm getting used to these. They're lighter. What I like is that they're lighter than my
elbows pointing, kind of out to the side. Make sure your elbow points out to the side. Make sure your elbow does not point forward. You see what that does to your shoulder? Pulls your shoulder in a very awkward position. You end up having to twist and things. So it's probably better to keep that elbow pointing to the outside, just at a nice angle as it goes behind you. So just grab that kettlebell, just start swinging a few reps. More in line with your shoulders, and yet you can slide it back. But remember, the rotation comes from your forearm, not from your shoulder. Don't get your shoulder so your elbow points forward. Your elbow should point out to the side. And just do a few swings. Let it go back at an angle. Back. Come back. There you go. Come back. Come back. Come back. So the abs still stay tight. Okay? Right? Abs are still tight. And then we're going to sniff in hard through the nose, sharply short. And you should feel your chest expand a little bit as you do that. So the two breaths are when we gasp in with our mouth, it sets off a panic reaction in a sense in our brains, in our nervous system. We don't want to do that. Now the reason why we sniff in hard through the nose is a couple things. Number one is that smaller passageways, we have a more powerful, quick breath into our lungs. And number two is it moisturizes the air that goes in there. Okay? For Olympic lifting, maximal weight, power lifting, you breathe differently because it's a different goal. Here you want to move air, you want to continue to breathe, but you want to do it in the most efficient way, still keeping your core firm, but not breathing out all your air or taking huge sniffs in. These are small, pretty continuous breathing. So without any weight right now, we're just going to practice this. And what I want you to do is focus on what your upper arm does. So as your upper arm hits your ribs, the air comes out. And as you come up, and the arm comes off your ribs, that's when you sniff. Go with me. And switch hands and feel it as it hits your ribs. Snatching with your right hand, it is your left cheek, and both legs do work. Both hips do work, but the emphasis is on the left and the drive. So you should end up, the end of your swing is right about here. And then in a sense, the beginning of the snatch starts here, and you end up pushing through. Okay? Pushing your handle around the bell. But you got to make sure you don't cut that swing short and let your arm come away from your body, because then all that power transfer now is just on the shoulder. Add squeeze and squeeze and feel it go away from you. And feel it till finally you come up on that toe. You see what I mean? Just pull the shoulder back. Keep that. You can feel that? Yep. Start small. Now that's too far. Again, you can't keep that arm perfectly straight the whole time. We do the flop over the top. Somehow we have to pull it closer, and there's a lot of different ways. The first and the simplest way is to pull back a little bit and bend a little bit with your elbow. The other way to do it is pull back a little bit with your shoulder, keeping that arm fairly straight. Third way to do it is to rotate yourself a little bit, and then in a sense, the other way to do it is a combination of all three of those things. Stronger grip. Some people have stronger shoulders, so they like to pull back with the shoulders. Some people have stronger arms. They like to just bend the arms and punch it through. Right? So you're going to have to find out what works for you. From the center of the bell to the
versus float and switch.
And then the other hand, you can easily pull your hand away because you're not death gripping it. To avoid the death grip, you need to loosen that grip. This is a very simple drill which will help you master this idea of floating the kettlebell. Float it, then you clamp down on it. Okay, remember, you only need to grip it hard when it's behind you as it comes down. And then you need to release that grip here, have that light touch, that floating effect. So, switch hands a couple times, just kind of get the feel of that as it's on your fingertips. Do it a couple times. And then remember, quickly your happy feet. Okay. No, look like this. Watch this. Here. If you want to grab it in the middle. See what I mean? Don't pull your hand away until this hand is over. A nice mountain like this. Boom, like that. Okay. Now, put that overhead. That's like the sides of a pyramid, sides of a mountain. That's the best angle for your shoulder. If you go palms forward, binds up the bursa in your shoulder really tight. It pinches you. Okay? You don't need that. Yeah. If you have a 45. Now, if you have it thumbs completely back, then what happens is you don't have enough control, and the kettlebell weight is, in a sense, outside your wrist, and you don't have enough strength and control. Here, everything's almost too contracted, too tight, binding in here. You can do that for low reps, can't do it for high reps. It'll eat up your shoulder. Somewhere in here, you see what I mean? It's not going to be palms forward where the kettlebell's completely rotated and the shoulder's banging up. And it's not going to be way out here. So everybody get a light kettlebell, just get overhead, press it, whatever, and kind of play with that angle and see how the different angles feel. And then as you push the handle through, you just keep that angle. So as it's down and behind you, it's down at a 45. As it comes up approximately stomach level, you're going to be level. Your hand is going to be level. As you pull it back, it gets approximately eye level. Your thumb is going to be up. And then as you push the handle through, you keep that 45-degree angle. Okay? What happens is, instead of pivoting the kettlebell over the top, like we just showed you, at an angle, what happens is you pull the kettlebell and the kettlebell goes right around your wrist. So it goes back, it comes up, and it kind of sneaks around the outside of the wrist instead of flipping up at an angle. Instead of keeping it down and having it come up, where you're down angle here and then you're an up angle and it's a very abrupt switch and pivot, what's going to happen is it gradually levels out, it comes up at an angle, you're going to have to pull it a little bit higher. So it's going to be right about eye level, and then you're going to push that handle around and the kettlebell is going to sneak around the outside of your wrist, and that's the key. I want you to learn both styles so that you can practice it. The only thing I want you to avoid is keeping the handle flat all the time, because that ends up punching, keep it in your palm, bashing it on the back of your wrist. When you have the angle, either angled down and then angled up, or gradually opening and then pushing through, those are the best for your grip and for your wrist.
I'm used to this way. This is the way I do it, yeah. Yeah, it's way more.
Okay. Is the way you do, and then it comes up and it's level. Behind you, it's level, about a little bit higher on the stomach. And each time, it goes a little bit higher, and you start to rotate a little bit higher, and then once it gets to your eye level, on the next one you punch it through. But you need to maintain the same trajectory so that it's here. See, it's here in front of your eye, in front of that eye.
I don't know if I did it or not.
See that in front of your eye. Angle up a little bit. There you go. Up, and then punch it. Up. Did you say you pulled it out a little bit? Just a little bit. So, trajectory goes from the middle. The kettlebell comes up in front of the chest. Then eventually it comes on top of the shoulder. If you pull the kettlebell out in front of your shoulder, this is the path outside. You are going to end up pulling it out to here. So you are either going to be stuck with your arm out here, or you're going to have to pull it back in using your shoulder muscle to pull it back in. So what you want to make sure is that it comes out and the kettlebell is more in front of your chest, in front of this side of your face. That's why I say get that handle in front of your eye on that side. Then it'll end up over your shoulder. If you pull it out here, this is why I don't like certain people trying to teach this high pull, where they're pulling like this, and then they wonder why their snatches look like this. Because they're so ugly, and that's what their snatches look like. Because all they do is practice this. Right? Not good. Not good for your shoulder. Not good for good snatch technique. You want to win ugly contests, that's the way you do it. But have that come up in front of your eye. That kettlebell path is very important. You want it to come out in front of your eye, in front of your chest, and then to push through, and it'll come up right over your shoulder. See how much less now you're not using all this muscle to then pull it in. It just lands perfectly nice. That's great. So you got the one part. Now, the kettlebell snatch is a pretty rhythmic, smooth exercise, but there is that little, you have to have a little bit of aggressiveness, and then you have to open the hand, punch it with your palm, and let it sneak around.
I love
But you have to
that's when it's angled.
kind of have your hand open and not be gripping it at all.
Not here, it's flat. You go to the top. Sit down. You're trying to
then,
do the other one. Angled up.
And then
to the top.
punch through.
So
Yeah.
here. That way, as I pull back,
Good.
punch through, kettlebell wraps around.
If you keep it level here, as you go to punch through, where's it going to go? Smack. If you have the angle here, where's it going? See what I mean? Where's it going? Sneaking right around. You see what I mean? So you need to have, I would recommend you get 2 swings where the angle is up and it's in front of your eye.
Okay.
So make sure you have that swing down, which means your thumb is up in front of your eye, and then you do the same thing and then you push through. Nice. It's easier? Feel good?
Yeah, it's easier with a heavier one.
Okay, just do a few because we're going to still keep going. That's good. So she's up against the wall. And then snap. Now move in half, a little more. There you go. Now bring it down. High as the eye. Get it to your eye level. There you go. Eye level. Good. Bring it down. One more time. Scoot in just a little bit more. There you go. Now go. Up to the eye. Up to the eye. Snatch. Okay, notice how you got a little early on it here, and then you had to almost pull it up with your arm. So make sure you get to the eye before you do it. So go to the eye. 2 more swings. Go to the eye level. Eye level. And then eye level, punch through. Still gamed it a little bit. You kind of anticipate it. And so that's the other thing you want to make sure. If I take a snapshot of you right here, I shouldn't know whether you're doing a swing or a snatch. If you're pulling that kettlebell to right here on a swing, it should be the same as your snatch. The only difference on the snatch is you're pushing that handle through and around. Because what you don't want to do is pull all your swings to here, and then when it comes time to snatch it, you get it to right about here and you jump the gun. Don't jump the gun on your snatch punch through. Make sure you still reach that same level where the handle is in front of your eye. So one more time, get it to eye level and go all the way up. Eye level, eye level, eye level, punch. Good. Feel the difference there? It should feel smoother. And the only thing I would say, a little bit quicker. But don't. The thing is, the quickness has to happen right here, not right here. Don't get antsy and jump the gun and try to punch it down here. Wait till it gets to here. You have to have that timing, and then time it with that heel. Boom. Punch through, lock out. You're trying to lower it, and lower it down in front of, hopefully, your face, not in front of your shoulder. If it starts going down your shoulder, boom, hit your knee. So you can lean back, but you got to squeeze that cheek as you lean back and put that other arm out in front of you to help counterbalance you. And the arm will start to come down. The handle will be approximately vertical, or maybe up slightly, and it's going to land in your hands. Your arm is bent a little bit, and then as it comes right around your belly, then you're going to start to clamp onto it, and then it's going to go behind you. And then you start to cycle over again. So, the trajectory coming down is you want to bring it down more in front of you, in front of your eye, in front of your sternum or so, where you want to grab it, so that then the handle is easy to grab, easy to support, and then as you grab it, then it will come right down the middle. If you just let it fall, where is it falling towards? Right in your knee. Obviously, you'll start to pull it in. But why have it generate all this force and then have to pull it back in? Let that easy drop happen in front of your eye, and then you grab it in front of your sternum. So just put your hand up on top of you, and then as you lean back, it starts to come in front of your eye, and in front of your sternum, it goes down. It's not bango in the knee, or having to pull it in and maybe hit the other knee. So the trajectory is down toward that eye. So it's locked out, it's here. And then it's here. And it's right in front of you, and then it goes back down. Go behind. Right? As it comes up. Feel that? So it comes in. So as you dump it, it comes in a little bit. You can bend your elbow a little bit and lean back. Keep that leg sitting in, fall, and then it pulls you over. See what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Now, what I want to avoid from the top is dumping it and absorbing all this force with our low back. If I'm standing up straight and I even start to let this kettlebell start to dump forward, you can feel how your back turns on, and then you end up, if you end up dumping, you will end up having to use your back, since your arm is away from your body, your back is going to take this whole load. So not many backs especially can help this. You can do this with a light kettlebell, but as you get heavier, as you get tired, you run a great risk of hurting your back. by dumping it forward. So when you're here and you dump it forward, that takes a lot of strong back. Okay? And there's other ways to do it. So what happens is, as the bell comes forward, we lean back.
See how quickly he absorbs the shock with his body there?
Now where do I absorb it? It's here, here. Right here I'm absorbing it. This is where I'm strong. If someone gave me 150 or even a 200-pound kettlebell, I could probably hold on to it here, right? Could I hold on to it here? No. Okay? So this is very tough loading on your back. So as it comes down, lean back, absorb it, and let it, right here, let it pull you down as you absorb that force very smoothly. Okay? Tuck that shoulder in, protect the shoulder, let it come down, grip the bell, absorb it with your whole body, not just with your low back. So as you dump, you lean back. So lean back and lean. This leg stays straight, this comes up, and let it. About here. So you have to absorb it with your legs, with your torso, and then let it go back behind you. Once you get it here, don't start turning it up here. Wait till it's down here. So flick it to here.
Okay.
Flick it to here. No, watch this. Put your arm in there. Push up against it.
What I just learned, like, just
How strong are you right there?
really,
Not too strong.
and then think about the
Now.
so literally like a little bit stronger.
Stronger. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You can take a load right here. If you dump here, how much load can you take?
Not much.
Not much. You see what I mean? So if you flick it and you clamp on it and it's starting to pull you, you're going to be very weak. Very internally rotated with your shoulders, very
Working on
weak.
the flick.
All of a sudden, you're internally rotated. Now you start to take the load and you clamp on. You have some strength there.
So when I flick it, it's just
So
kind
when
of
you flick it to here, yes.
Okay.
Flick it to here and then grab it here.
Okay.
Flick. It's just dropping to here.
Okay.
And then to
I can
there.
grab it.
Then you can grab it. It'll be in front of the sternum.
Okay.
Flick it to here. Flick it to here. No, you're going like this. You're internally rotate. Pull that shoulder in and go to here.
Okay.
And pull that arm into your side.